From the ashes
you will after the dust settles, you will see
that it was only
that it was only meant to start
your new.
your
From the ashes
ashes you will
after the dust
after the
settles,
dust settles, you will see
that it was only
it
meant
was only meant to
your new.
Amen.
What's up, everybody? This is
Amen.
your boy Titus Glenn, and we are here just continuing our journey into new beginning. And if you don't know, it's because Titus Glenn is coming out with new music January the 28th. New beginning. It's hitting. It's going to be in your hands through download and through other medias. All you have to do is just get it right. So through this process, we have been talking about just starting over. We first started over. We first started the conversation through fitness. Go check out that podcast where we talked about fitness and how to start over the new year. Last week we talked about fire, how to start over from a fire. We had guests talk through their story. And this week we're dealing with another difficult topic. I know it seemed like week after week we get into harder conversations, but like I told the team, well, let's have these conversations to help people to dialect. And today hits really close to home because I think we've all been affected by it, and especially within this last year, it's just been a lot of it. So today we want to talk about it and just give people hope, give people space to maybe heal. I got a very special guest who's dear to me on the show today, my brother, and we're gonna talk about just death. And I know that's maybe a hard pill to swallow, but the only way to really heal through healing is to talk, is to have conversations. No matter where you are, no matter what you're going through, part of your process, you have to have somewhere to get it all out. You have to have that conversation, we either with yourself or with someone else. So if you could give it up at this time for my brother Elijah Emmanuel Glenn.
Oh, for real?
all those all,
Yeah.
all three of them, all
Oh,
three
the
of them.
whole name. I
So,
appreciate y'all having me here.
so how you doing, big brother? You already been clowning the last 15 minutes.
Was it 15 minutes?
Uh-huh.
That's what's up. Okay, my bad. Well,
15 minutes in.
that's what's up. I'm doing well, man. Today is good. I mean, it's not always that, but today it's a good day. It's with the church, learn some things that I needed to learn and be convicted of, and then
Mhm.
had good conversations with my boys. Gianna, she's at camp, so you know what I'm
Okay.
saying. She's been at camp since Friday, and so that's been a struggle with her not being here,
Mm.
because you know what I'm saying, not emotionally. It's,
Mhm.
it's been it's been hard because she's the one that helped out with Jordy. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm.
So yeah, but I'm good, bro. How about you?
I'm good. The Madam Secretary Takara, we good?
Yeah.
Everybody good? All right, cool, cool,
I
cool,
Everybody.
was
cool.
gonna ask. I was gonna ask them.
Oh
Did
my
you?
goodness.
Uh,
This gonna be that show where it's Big Brother, Little Brother, huh? Big Brother, Little Brother. It ain't your
I'm.
show. It's my show. No,
A
just
fact.
yeah,
who are you? Who are you
Jay,
looking
you
at?
gonna
Who are
pull
you
a
looking
Jay
at? You look to
Clay?
the
This
side.
is
Like it ain't
not the
who you
show for
talking
Jay
to.
Clay.
You just was talking to somebody in the corner. Somebody in the corner is mad. You just
Look,
you
fussing at
see,
we
them.
pull our parents are
you,
asleep. All
you
our
see
parents
that?
are asleep, okay?
Listen, that 4-year old tantrum that just.
Hey,
And in the
I
corner,
fell back.
you
No, I'm
arguing
just
I
with
like,
fell.
them.
no. We gonna have fun. But say what you was gonna say. You was gonna ask him.
I was gonna ask them how they doing.
Okay. Go
But
ahead, ask. Let's start over.
you
Let's start.
decided
He
to
just sat
ask.
back and everything. Sit back up.
Well, he said it's his show, so
No,
I
go ahead.
wanted to
No, no,
make sure
no.
I fall back. You know, yeah. Like I wanted people to see, my humbleness, that I don't
there we
always
go.
I don't always show. You know what I'm saying?
Don't
Oh,
always
To my,
show.
to,
Oh, okay.
I don't always
It don't
show.
always
You,
show.
Oh
yeah,
my.
how you doing, Mr. Carver?
I'm doing wonderful. It's been a great weekend.
That's what's up. And you, Madam
Hmm.
Secretary?
I am working to a better place, and today I'm very positive, and my mental number is elevated. So,
That's what's
What
up.
is your number?
I'm still rocking my 8. Me and 8 been
That's what's up.
rocking. I'm striving. If I go down to a 7, I do a few little things to get me up. My endorphins. I smile a lot, and that helps out. So
I haven't seen that. So when you said a lot, I haven't saw you smile.
Really, like.
Like that's a smile right there. I haven't seen that.
oh,
When
okay.
did we
Let's go.
y'all
When
saw
you're
that
really
one?
funny, when you're really really funny, I'm gonna give it to you. But I've been having
Oh,
medium sized funny from
bet.
you, and I know you're a
Oh,
comedian, so I was waiting for the
I'm
big
not
one.
a comedian.
I
Like
was
this
waiting
is
for the
just
big one.
this is
But
just
you
my
see, my smile
personality.
just made you smile.
Facts.
Boom.
I
See what I'm
mean,
saying?
but I don't like smiling. Go ahead.
Okay, here we go. Bring it back in. We finna go another
Titus,
15 minutes of
dude, this
pre-show.
is your
You hear
show,
me?
bro.
Another
Take
15 minutes of
control, bro.
pre-show.
He had to tell you
Listen,
it's your show.
listen,
You know.
listen. The problem is I know Titus. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. If I ain't know nobody on the set, it'd be different.
Yeah.
Titus, take over, bro. I'm gonna fall
Gotcha.
back.
I
Okay.
love him.
Okay, so
Oh.
y'all, we are here. We're gonna just dedicate this to my sister in love,
Mhm.
Janier Glenn, the dopest wife that I've ever seen. The way she catered to my brother was phenomenal. I told him in previous conversation he was spoiled. Like
Facts.
literally spoiled, from encouragement to know Elijah. Y'all have experienced him in a kind way, but
Mhm.
10 years ago, y'all be like, who is this NIGGA?
Okay.
And so he is toned down a lot. So let's give you love for Elijah and his growth,
I
because he's
appreciate that.
Well, we
he's
got some
grown.
claps for you. Hold on.
Absolutely. Come on.
We
Listen,
gonna rip us. We
Listen,
gonna rip us all
listen,
the way.
this
We gonna
point,
rip
it's
us
a-
all the way.
listen.
At this
If I
point,
wouldn't
it's a
known you
standing
was in
ovation.
charge of I appreciate that. Listen,
Ooh.
I forgot that you control the claps. I wouldn't have went
Don't.
in so hard.
So it's we're laughing, but there's a lot of love in the room. And if Janine were here, she would be laughing too. She's a chick that she knew how to. She reminds me of you, Madam Secretary. She knew how to come in the feminine energy, but then she knew how to say, you know what, nigga, we're not doing that. You know what I mean? Legit, she carried that type of weight to say, I'm woman, but I walk in my authority. And when I need you to bow, I know what I need to do to make you bow, but I just choose not to.
In the right way, right?
In the right
roundabout.
way.
The roundabout. Yeah, because
Absolutely.
y'all are men respectfully giving you, not even giving you the throne, you sit on the throne. And so it's just a certain way you come about it. When you come to a king, you talk to them a certain way. And then, nobody probably will understand how that is, but you and them. You know what I mean? But you understand what the workings of a man is. And really, you do the work to figure out how to get certain stuff done in a certain way. So
in the most positive way. And that's who she is. That's who her spirit still lives on. And so even when it comes to just how I want, in a sense, my daughters to be, and just even when I'm talking to other people in their relationship, even though we had this conversation, me and Madam Secretary and Takara, like, even though I've walked through divorce, I feel like I'm entitled to even say what makes it work. Because I know my failures, as well as I know, in a sense, I have more tools to give any person that is just struggling in their relationship. You know what I mean? Because of the process that I've been through myself. But that's that show next week. Okay. But this show, we are talking about that. And I want you to maybe just share, Elijah, in this moment. Maybe in this moment, what are your memories of Janier?
Oh, okay. Memories. The ones that I can share on screen are like,
The one that you feel safe with sharing.
Absolutely. I mean, we was married, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, there are things that you can't be sharing. Feel me?
I'm gonna try.
Oh my.
So I remember
not the moaning and the groaning parts. Yes.
Okay, got it. Cool. So all right. So the thing that some of the moments that stuck out, first and foremost was like the first time we met, right? The first time that we met, um, you've been there for this conversation, Titus, where we couldn't get it on track to say who was right. You know what I'm saying? But I met her at college, my second stint, coming back to get my degree, and I remember bumping into her when I was sitting down, and she gave me this like really weird smile, like don't talk to me, but okay, hi, right? And so what I did was, as you know, being who I was at the time, pretty arrogant dude, I said to her across the room, I said, "That's that chick that thought I was trying to talk to her," right? And so that was the first time that we met, and then didn't know that 2 weeks later that I would see her again, and she got to experience the wittiness that y'all see today. And then she asked me for my number again. I was like, why would I do that? You know, and you lost my number, so why would I talk to you now? You know what I'm saying? And so I remember walking her and her homegirl, because I was a gentleman, even though I was I was just an arrogant gentleman though.
As our
So I was
mama taught
walking
us
in,
well. Mama taught us
bet,
well.
bet, because it was dark, you know. So I walked them back, and then and she said, "No, for real, can I get your number?" Like, because I think I had sung for them, right? And I was like, "Listen, I can do way better than these dudes that was in this talent show." You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I did. I sung for them, and she's like, "Yeah, let me get your number." So that's the very first memory that I have of her, right? Then if you fast forward through the years, like this last 18 months, 24 months was like the greatest part of the marriage that I ever could experience. Meaning, when y'all talk about walking in femininity, like like that was a an incredible shift that she saw something or heard something, maybe the Holy Spirit or whatever. But I know that the last year for sure that she had been listening to, I don't know, y'all cool with this, but Kevin Samuels, you know what I'm saying? She started listening to him, and then there was like a change in her demeanor when I was in the house. And I remember telling her, I said, babe, like there's something different about you, and I can tell in how you rocking with me. And she was like, well, don't tell me what it is. I said, you don't want to know what it is that I'm telling you that's the dope part about you? She said, no, because whatever it is, I'm gonna still keep doing it. So I don't want to know. I just want to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing for you. You know, so those were the things. That's the things that come to mind. But if you ask me more specific, then I can give you more details.
That's what's up. I like the way that you have those memories, and that, because I knew you guys. One of the things that I talked to Jenny about when she was here was how did she think that, why did y'all work? You know what I mean? And
That's a dope question.
one of the things that we that I got out of that conversation is that y'all started off as friends. And I feel like, in a sense, she became your best friend, or she was your best friend in your journey of love. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna ask this question, and then I'm going to relinquish so that my team members can kind of come on. um I want to, I guess, ask you, to the people that are watching or maybe going through this transitional period, what are some things that you have done to help you in this process of losing somebody of this magnitude?
Things that I've done had to be prior to her passing, which
Mm,
was my relationship with Christ.
mm,
Like the I didn't. I mean, I have an idea that I had a strong relationship with Christ, but not until this situation of her passing that I realized that I'm connected to this, to Christ in a major way. So it's more specifically, like I read and study almost every day
mm.
to gather an understanding of what it is that I'm supposed to be doing as a man and as a follower of Christ. So whether that's leading, whether that's having a conversation with my kids, whether that was making sure she was good as my wife. That mean my time up?
No,
I
no,
mean, I
well,
need.
that's shut up.
Okay, like I was in a serious conversation, then you at your phone. Okay, and so
I'm gonna mute my mic.
Can you find it? All right. So then I'm just messing. And then what I did, I treated it like it's cool for me to share this because I've had this conversation so many times. But I think this would be very helpful for many people if you've have experienced it or you will experience it at some point, a loss of someone if you keep living long enough, right? I treated it like an injury, um, to like an ankle injury or a wound or something like that that has been. Uh, for me, I play sports, so for me, when I rolled my ankle, I didn't wait at the house. I didn't go home and just like what I'm saying, I'm gonna let it heal itself. What I did was I literally started calling people that I knew had lost their spouse. Well, I won't say immediately. It was probably like that Monday, right after people knew. And I started talking to them. They was coming to my house, and I'm asking them all types of questions. What is that feeling? Because I also felt this comfort, and I felt like I didn't love my wife because I was so comforted. And it was weird this transition that I'm having to have, or holding back tears or trying to make sure that I got everything together. And so I talked to people that had experienced it before, and then I got into grief share like 2 weeks later at my church, and grief share was incredible, like amazing. Like where they give you steps to go to, they also give you practical application, and then you have your support group that's there as well. So I did that, and I also had my personal counselor, who was phenomenal. Like my dude was off the chain, Dr. Marvin. Um, One of the things that he did was he never told me what to do. He just always gave me some ways to handle situations, right? And and also, and it's not gonna happen for everybody, but he had also lost his spouse 6 months prior to him counseling me, right? They had been married like 30 some years, whatever. So we got to build together as he was helping me kind of help me with my wound, right? And so everybody's not gonna have that experience. So I was fortunate enough that God would do that for me. So when I'm listening to him, I'm able to like, oh, okay, well, I can rock with what you're saying because you in it. And then he would tell me, he's like, Elijah, listen, I had that. Like I know exactly where you at. And so because of that, that was dope. And then, you give me now you want to hear me see me cry, like I talk about my kids, like my kids, like hearing them talk about the gospel to me, about their mom not being here, that was not that was the icing on top because that's not something that I was expecting for them to be my gen, if you will. Like all four of them in some regard were giving me what Jen would have given me if I had lost somebody close to me, right? And so the things that I'm doing uh outside of that is that I'm trying to make sure that I just live in today, live in today and deal with today. And then if there is a moment of where I guess outburst of crying, then I just let it happen. Like I don't fight against whatever emotion that I'm having because Tyler, like I've never been no crier. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even think you ever seen me cry. You know what I mean? And so my kids, the first time they saw me cry was Father's Day last year because Jen, once again, she was very clever in trying to be um, outside of the box when it came to Father's Day, and they had gave me this shirt with my face on it, and it had Datalorian on it. Right? I don't know nothing about the Mandalorian, but they did, and I was like, I saw my picture, what I'm saying, and I already a little arrogant, so had the shades and the bald head and the beard. I was like, oh my God, it's crazy. And they saw me crying. That was the first time, and my daughter's 12, right? She's the first time. And then but with losing Jen, I embrace the waves that come. Like I embrace them. Like if it so happens that I cry here, like I'm not gonna hold it back. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. But I also when I like here, I try to when I'm communicating with people, I try not to cry for a little bit just so I can get my thought. You know what I'm saying? So I can talk to you because I can't talk when I cry. But those are some of the things that I do and am doing, to get through the healing process.
I'm a relinquish my stance. That was my question. I mean, I could ask more, but I don't want to hog the platform today. I'll let Madam Secretary do that. Um, if you want to go ahead and, Madam Secretary, let your lashes speak for us today.
Hello, humble people on this platform. Hello. Listen, it's the sweater for me. It's just, it's not about Titus today. We're not gonna do this,
That
Titus. It's hard not to, but we're not gonna do it today. Okay? He came looking rather debonair. Anyways,
I must
sir.
not be looking good. Did the fatigue and the pink not rock together? Is that what it is?
It's not that.
You
It's
look
that
amazing.
We didn't know if you was going fishing or if you was
Well, he
coming
did a
from like.
wardrobe change. He took off his hat. He had a hat on,
Oh,
then he
that's
had
what.
the hoodie kind of up. So you've
Yeah.
been rocking like you just rocked three different.
But it's okay. Listen, I'm not fishing for a compliment. You can tell me that it don't look
Oh
good.
no,
I'm
I've
okay
been
with
looking
it.
at your outfit because I do
Yeah.
design people, and you put a good combination together today
But
with
why did I
pink.
have to ask? Why did I have to ask you that for
Well,
that
I
to
was gonna
be said?
because
Like, I don't
you
understand.
chose to
Listen,
because I was gonna tell you after the show. I was gonna tell you after the show. You know what? You look
that's
pretty dope
exactly what
today.
kids say. I was gonna say that. I was gonna do that. Yeah,
He don't want
I'm
me
just,
to talk, y'all.
I'm
Listen,
just playing. Go.
I mean, let me give everybody what they want, especially Titus and his brother. The glue is good. It's
Get
just a
out of
little
here.
tear. It's a tear, and I'm not sad, But anyways, sir, you listen. I experienced Humble Dad on my Facebook pop up, and I seen it, and I was like, and I really never really met you ever. And so when I seen it, you to me looked like Titus, and I was like, that's his brother. And I am the person that loves the jokes on the back of the Laffy Taffy wrapper. Oh my goodness. No, I laugh for real and I'm about to laugh now. And so when I watched Humble Dad, I got the jokes. Like it was crazy. I was like, and I knew if someone heard me laughing, they would be like, sis, you tripping, like something wrong with you. It wasn't
For
that
sure.
funny. But it was so funny to me that I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
I
I'm a
appreciate
fan.
that.
I didn't think I was gonna be. I try hard not to when you came for me on my show, but I am a
Oh,
fan. I was a little salty.
oh, you're talking about? I had it was in the comment section.
Yes,
Is
but
that
see, I
okay?
didn't know.
Okay.
I don't read the comments. Titus
Okay.
took it up on
Okay.
himself to read them comments that
Okay.
day while we were live.
Okay.
So yes, I got to
Okay.
experience you in a real way. And you
I
got
bet.
to maybe you didn't hear me, but thank you for coming today. Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for coming
I'm
today.
glad
And
to
like
be
I
here,
said, I'm
man.
truly a fan. I believe well, you can tell me, did Humble Dad come in a season where you needed to get rid of energy or how did that come about?
Yep, that's exactly what happened. I was, I'm a real estate investor full time, and so what was going on was that I was so dedicated to it that I was stressing out because my business wasn't doing well, and my business wasn't doing well. But I was like, I do need to have an outlet, so that it doesn't take all my time.
Mm,
And so I started. I said, well, I need to start a YouTube channel. Um, and I wanted to know what I was going to talk about, and so I thought I was going to be talking about being a teacher, and how to manage a classroom and how to become a better teacher, even though I'm against public school. You feel me? But I was like, there are people that are working in that profession
mm,
and they need assistance, and um, I was a master teacher, so um, and so I was able to, yeah, I was dope. Okay,
same. No, just same thing.
you saying the same? You were a dope teacher as well?
Dope and master teacher, but go ahead, continue.
Oh, that's a bit. Okay, so I wanted to teach because I enjoy teaching, and people get that aha moment. Like I enjoy that a lot. And so, but then I saw that there was a lot of that already. Right. And so I said, oh, well, how can I be different? And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
one of the things that I enjoy is being a dad, you know?
Mm,
And so I think it was early November. It was like early November 2020. Yeah, 2020. And I sent out a mass text to some dads that I know real quick. And my first person that responded was my uncle. I was like, listen, I want to interview some dads, would you be interested? And it wasn't Humble Dad at the time, it was just interview with a dad.
mhm,
And so I said, does any one of y'all want to be, I can interview you? And my uncle, who is our father, well, for me, I don't know Titus, but it was a father figure to me. He responded with like in 3 minutes, and I was like, oh, that's a bet. Like uncle don't just, what I'm saying, uncle, I get to I get to interview my uncle, who's my father
mhm.
figure. And so it started like that, And then I was like, well, you know, it got to be branded. Like it got to be something better than Interview with a Dad. That's just so cliche, I guess, or not pizzazz enough for me. And I started looking through the dictionary for adjectives. And so when I was looking for adjectives, that's the name that the humble popped out to me. And not I was like, but humble dad, like me saying I'm humble, like that's weird, you know. But how right? But I said, but it's catchy, you know. And so then I went to Jen. I was like, say, babe, what do you think about me changing the name to Humble Dad? And she said, oh, that's good. Hey, when your wife on the bandwagon off top, hey, you know you got something,
That's
right?
it.
And so that's when it started, and it's been rocking. I've done about 73 interviews since then.
Wow. No, I didn't know it was that many interviews, but wow, that's awesome. I have another because here on TTNT, I do express to our audience, we try to let them know where we are. And this is a very hard subject to talk about. It's hard to, and I'm just letting you know about me. In the process, it's hard to find questions because you want to be right. You want to not say things that are triggering or anything like that. I have not lost a spouse, but I did lose my dad. And I remember in that process, a bunch of questions. Everybody asks you a bunch of questions, and or they tell you what that person meant to them, which is kind of rocky and weird because you know they probably meant the most to you, and now you get to experience the experience that they had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in looking through those questions and really trying to figure out what I want to ask, the only thing that stuck out to me, and I have to ask because it just didn't go away, is there was a time where I remember sleeping, and in my dream, my dad came into the dream, and I remember I was at a store, and men usually open the door for a woman and let her walk in. I remember seeing his silhouette, and I walked in, and as I'm walking past, I remember saying, "I'm not ready to see you yet." So my hard question is, have you had a moment where you either asked, come into my dream, or was there a moment where you said, I'm not ready for, you know, this particular process? Maybe something, maybe a smell or a scent or something like that, because, you know, that does happen sometimes.
Yeah. Well, first, before I answer that, like I'm okay with any question,
Okay.
right? Like I'm not affected by what question is asked because I understand as a teacher, like I understand that the reason why you're asking is because you want information that you may need help with something. So I'm not. There's no question that's going to be off guard to me, right? So I can rock with any question. And then secondly, like I've had several dreams about Jen, you know, with her in them. I think maybe like first, second week, you know. But before that, Joshua had she came to him like the next day, like you know, like she passed away August 13th, you know, on a Friday. He saw her in the dream on Saturday, yeah, like Saturday night, and he got to experience her saying, you know, her talking to him and saying that she loved him, and got to talk about their day. That's what he said, right? I was like, that's dope. I don't know if I'll get to experience that, right? But then move forward, then I probably have had, I don't know, maybe 6 to 10 dreams with her in them, and so because of that, I do ask God. I said, man, can I see her again? You know, in the dream, and sometimes he allows that, you know, and so, but there was this one dream, was a couple, but the one that stood out was it was at a nap. I was taking a nap, and my naps are not really that long, but I was taking a nap, and uh, I was on the basketball court. I was sitting down, and then somebody brings me my phone. Like that's weird. Like I should have my phone, right? But somebody brings me my phone, and it says Jenny is calling. Like it has Jenny on the phone, and I answer it, and she's on the other line, right? And I'm saying, hey, how's it going? What are you doing? You know, and she says, well, I just wanted to call and tell you. I need to tell you like these 6 things. I don't remember the other five, but the main one that stuck out, what she said, you're gonna be okay. And I woke up from the dream, and I'm like, what is that, right? And that's as I can tell you, like it was clear as day. That's what she said, and I was like, okay, that gotta mean that I am gonna be okay because that's the one thing that I'm concerned about. And then fast forward, some of the I've been able to see her, but I haven't been able to touch her, you
Mhm.
know, but I've been able to see her in, in different spaces. And then I think there was another dream where she even said that she was okay, you
Mhm.
know. And so that was a pretty interesting and cool moment. And so from time to time, I do see her and get to talk. I don't really get to. I think I may have talked to her maybe that once that just that phone call. But the beautiful thing about technology is that because we did podcasts together, I get to go back and watch those and actually hear her and see her. And
Mhm.
I was just watching one last night with her and myself where we was talking about homeschooling and should kids go back to school. I think that was our first one that we did, and so yeah, so I get to experience that pretty regularly.
Wow. That's super awesome. I love that story. And the amount of times too, because I know I've experienced other people that, say that, hey, I pray every night, let me see him. And they, I just don't ever get to see him. So to me, that's a blessing,
What
to be able to
right?
experience that.
Yeah.
I have another thing in struggling, and I'm trying not to struggle now, but in struggling with situations, I know for me, this particular time that we live in, I've had to pull from my kids' energy. I've had to pull from their strength because sometimes I feel defeated. I feel, even though I try a lot, I think people say we don't have the book on how to raise them. We do the best we can from the tools we have. And
Hmm.
so just that pulling from their strength, has your children been a driving force to continue, or I mean, if that's not your struggle, then I understand. But has there been a time where you just knew I gotta grab these. I gotta
Hey,
grab
you,
what we left, what we have.
yeah. Have you been talking to Titus? You might have been watching some of my Facebook posts or something. I don't know. Yes,
No, it's
yes. My
not
my
about you.
that's a bet. Yeah, I mean they are some of the most amazing people I've ever been around. From, I mean, I don't know how long you want me to talk, but like talking about my kids and how and in their faith in Christ, uh, is one of the pillars of me being able to move through my grief, uh, and what some people would say too fast, right? But everybody has a different timing, right?
Mhm.
But like for example, uh, I don't know if I should start with recent or before, but at Jen's funeral, my daughter was like, my oldest daughter, she was like, Dad, like I understand. She said, I don't understand how people can do this without Christ, right? She said that. I was like, yeah, babe, that's true, And we're at the grave site. This is what she's saying.
Mhm.
And then 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes later, she's like, because she was seeing something happen that was pretty crazy, and she said, I s- Dad, I see why God doesn't allow time machines. Like, what are you talking about? She said because we would go back and we would mess up God's plan. And I was like, you are amazing. I said, you're amazing. And we're at mom's gravesite, right? And she's thinking these things.
Mhm.
Another time out, we do Bible study. We haven't recently, but typically we do Bible study in the mornings. And you always got to give your takeaway whenever we do the verses or whatever. And I was talking to them about why I was like, "Do you still believe in God?" Like, because your mom's
Mhm.
not here, and they said, "Yeah." I said, "But why? Like, why would you believe in the God that allowed your mom not to be here?" And let's see, Ethan said, "Because I know where she's at. I know that." And Joshua was like, "I know she's safe where she's at." And Gianna was like, "Because you're still here." It's like,
Ooh.
man, what's okay? All right. So then we fast forward, we getting all of these different blessings from people. Like, and I'm telling them, and I'm letting my kids know, what people are doing for us. Like it's just out the wazoo crazy, what we got, or what we're getting. And I'm letting them know every time we get something. So this one time we was coming back from the dentist, which somebody paid for us to go to the dentist, right? And well, They didn't even pay for it. The doctor's office said everything's on us. So nobody even paid. They were just like, we got you. We already know the situation, you know. So we just want to do this for you. And so we're coming back from the dentist office. And I said, man, dude, like Josh, dude, Gianna wasn't in the car, Ethan was in the car. I said, man, I feel like I should have been doing, like, I felt like I was missing something when she, you know, because that whole week, I think, like, she got sick, you know, she got really sick, maybe like that Monday, kind of, sort of, but we got really sick on that Wednesday. And it seemed like she was, like, I was getting better, it felt like it. And then that Friday, she said, you know, I feel like I'm getting better. That's why, and she said, let's listen to this podcast. And I said, babe, it's like 7 hours long. And she was like, well, what else we got to do? We here. And I was like, oh, okay, well, she must be getting better because she got that spice, right? And and I'm telling my son, I was like, man, I can't. She told me that she was getting better. What's the deal? And Joshua said, well, maybe she was getting better. Maybe she was getting ready to go to heaven because you can't be sick going into heaven. I was like, dude, what are you saying? Like, that's crazy that you had that thought process.
Yeah.
Then you have, you know, Ethan. He says, you know, he's jealous that mommy's in heaven. You know, and you know, so he says things like that. He says, I'm on 10, Dad. You know, because I asked him their numbers like all the time. He's like, I'm 10. Like, why you keep asking me? You know, he said, because I know where mommy's at. Like, I'm good. And then I had Thursday. I had a moment where one of the things that Jen would do whenever she was coming home, she would say, Elijah, I'm coming home. Do you need anything? Okay, all the time, even if it was for a little bit, even if she was gone for a little bit. And so then I found myself. I said, because I had called home, tell Gianna, like, you know, I'm coming home. Do you need anything? And when I said that, that clicked for me. That Jen said that all the time, and I started having this emotional moment, and I'm crying. I'm like, I can't get past this wave, so I'm embracing this wave. And Joshua's in the car with me, coming from basketball practice, and he typically doesn't say anything when I'm having my moments, if you will. And he said, "Well, you know that mommy is where she deserves to be. She's in a place way better than this, and she's with the one that created her. She's with the one that gave her to you." I said, bro, why you gonna tell me this? You know what I'm saying? And I'm still crying, but I understand the reality of what he's saying, right? And so when you when you ask me about my kids, listen, they elevate me to a point that I didn't think that I could get to. And not only that, you know, my daughter Gianna, she for Christmas, because I'm always questioning, am I doing good as a dad? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm grieving, and at times I'm not, like, I can't get out the bed, and I'm like, hey, y'all got to take care of yourself. Can y'all rock with Jordana for me? Because I'm having a really bad moment right now. What they do, they say, okay, Dad, we got it. And they even do homeschooling. Like, they'll go take care of their schooling. They'll make sure Jordana is sitting down in front of the TV, watching what she needs to watch. Gianna will pause on her school for a moment until I'm able to get out. And sometimes it's been 4 or 6 hours that I can't move or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. And so you know, what she got me for Christmas, she got me this. Can I get it real quick? All
Feel
right.
free.
All right.
Feel free. And I'm not sure if you guys heard really quickly, but he said the date of it, but that's like months from it. Like, it's not, it's like fresh. It's like this past August. Just
Yeah.
to give people a
5 months
timeline
ago.
of where we are, because I know we're talking about, death, but this is new. This is
Yeah.
fresh. We hadn't,
Yeah.
made another August. I just wanted to state that, but go ahead.
For sure. And this is what she got me for Christmas.
Oh, the goat. Wow.
Right. And I was like, this is the dopest gift that I've ever got for, you know, in a long time, right? And she said, I just wanted you to know, right, that I think that you're doing a good job, you know. So when you ask me how I rock with my kids,
Yeah.
you know, that's where I pull from more times than not.
Yeah. So I'll just go into this. I try to be very transparent, and thank you so very much. I feel guilty. Let me say why. Because it's hard to cry when you know you shouldn't be the strongest person in the room. I'm so,
You're fine.
this this past Monday, my son said that he didn't feel good, and just thought it was a regular day, and it wasn't. You know, I feel guilty because I kind of was like, "You'll be all right." I tell them that all the time, you know, because I feel like I'm the boy's mom, you know. We know Kobe's the girl's dad, but I'm the boy's mom. And so I say, "You'll be all right, you good, you know, be good." So he said, "All right, I'm good." You know, Tuesday came around and he said, "Mom, I feel like I'm a faint." And I, I'm a single mom, so I had to continue grocery shopping. So I said, "Well, go lay down in the car." So he went laid down. But 5 o'clock that morning, my daughter got up and she kissed me and she was burning up. But I'm saying all that because my biggest fear happened. You know, we all tested positive for COVID Wednesday night, and my biggest fear was to leave my kids, and or to be positive and nobody I could give my kids to nobody. But I know that there's a God because there's some people that showed up for me, and I had a breakdown. I guess it was Wednesday night, late Wednesday. It had to be like 2 a.m. and it was like I lost the championship. You know, that's how I felt like I lost the championship because we can't protect them from everything. And the reason why I asked about the kids is because you can't take away their hurt, even if you want to. You know, as a mom, I wish it was just me. You know, but what I've seen in the last few days is that my kids have been stronger than I probably ever have been. And I didn't know that I left them or I've been giving them strength. And I was reminded when you talked about your kids and them talking about their relationship with God. Takara was on the phone with my 2 year old, and Takara was telling her, walk in there and check on Joe and how's mommy doing. And my 2 year old, mommy's crying. And Takara saying, well, check mom, give her water, things like that. But I see my team really rally around me. Um, I never expected that, you know. I didn't know how
Fact.
strong they were, you know,
Yeah.
until it was time, and they really showed up for me. And like I said, I felt guilty because what do I expect? I try to be strong for them every 365 days, but it's a time that I guess they were just stronger than me or stronger for me. So that's why I asked about the kids.
For sure.
I'll pass the mic on that. Let me get myself together.
Yeah, and you know that it's important for your kids to see you cry and see you fail and see how you react to your failures. Um, because they know that they will be adults,
Mm,
and so they want to know what it's like to be an adult.
yeah.
And so when we do not give them, this is what I was learning, when we do not allow them to see us hurt or fail, whatever the case may be, in how we process failure, then who are they going to get it from?
Mm-hmm.
People that we wish that they didn't get it from,
Yeah.
right? And then as it relates to COVID, like there's a cure for COVID. You know what I'm saying? So I would encourage you not to fear. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Uh, it's just another form of if you want to say disease, virus, or whatever, but it's not the be all of all. I mean, Jen passed from COVID, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? However, she had also underlying conditions, that we were unaware of, as well as they did not provide information. The they of those that should give us information
Mm-hmm.
of how to get on top of it at the time that you should, like checking your oxygen level would have been very simple,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so that you would be aware of what to do in this situation. or how to be preventative,
Mhm.
that you need to build your immune system. I mean, athletes are getting it, but it falls off of them basically. Why? Because they're in top shape. You know what I'm saying? And so I just encourage you to know that there is an answer for whatever it is that you're going through.
Definitely have some healthcare professionals, some home remedies, some holistic. We have a holistic doctor here with us today, Mister Doctor
Shut up.
that definitely got on the bandwagon. Was like, friend, I'm coming in the morning. I got you some sea moss pills because we know I
I
can't
bet.
swallow the sea moss. I tried,
Okay.
but I couldn't. But just some people that love you and care about you. And I got some orange juice. And like I said, if you called or text or whatever, pray to Kara that I think it was maybe 2, 3 o'clock in that morning, called and was like, let's pray, you know. And then
That's
Titus
what's
called
up.
that morning. Of course, it's hard. I'm trying to get some sleep. And Titus was like, all right, Fred, you good? Like, just, hey, keep the morale in the house up.
Hmm. Yeah.
And it's definitely, that has been it, staying outside, being outside, getting some vitamin D and some sunshine and walking around when you want to lay down, so
Hmm.
again, just pulling strength from everywhere. The
And
village
I
is
think
not
I think
just
that's something that happens in death, is
mhm,
to see people rally
mhm,
around you and then you really know who's for you and who's
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? You learn to divide what's good and what you need to keep away for the sake of
Mm-hmm.
for your healing. And
mhm,
Hmm.
I noticed that during this transition, like this is the weekend of my live recording.
Oh yeah. When she when
And
she
to,
passed, yeah.
right. And to see my family try to be in two places at one time showed me how strong your home front really is. You know what I'm saying? And so those that are may watch this later know that if it's happening to you, make sure that you get around. I'll say this: make sure that you are around people that know how to uplift you, and know how
Hmm.
to listen and know how to be quiet when they need to be quiet, and just
Hmm.
be a presence. Because some people just don't know how to be a presence. They feel like they gotta be opinion. They feel like they gotta offer opinion when all you really need in that moment is a presence. You don't need you need to be doing this, you need to be doing this. Sometimes you just need the energy or the essence of a person in the room so that you don't feel alone.
Hmm.
So
Agreed.
That's let me piggyback on that.
yeah.
I definitely agree with that, Titus, because I remember like when that happened, when you lost your spouse. Um, Titus came on. We had a meeting. He came on, and I could just sense like the energy was different. And I was like, okay, what's going on? He's like, I don't know what to do right now. And I was like, okay, let's talk about it. What's going on? And then Madam Secretary told me that you lost your spouse. And he was like, well, do I have the concert? Do I not have the concert? And I
Mm.
said, what would she want? And he sat there and he said, she would want me to have the concert.
Facts. Yeah, my wife was like, listen, this is what she would tell me. Because she struggled sometimes, and she would tell you this. She struggles with being consistent and moving forward. Right? She
Mm-hmm.
say, so that's why I push you, Elijah. Matter of fact, we had that conversation that Monday, because she had like a little, not a little, I don't know if it was big or not, but she had a panic attack that Monday, and so we didn't know if I needed to take the hospital. But anyways, I took her outside, get some fresh air, and I'm telling her about the accomplishments that I'm having. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
was getting, and because that Monday I had finished writing my fifth chapter of my dissertation, right? And I'm telling her
Mm-hmm.
about it, and she was excited. She's like, "Yeah, I knew you could do it." And so I knew that you could do it because every time you put your mind to something, you get it done. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
me that be struggling with that, right? That's what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And also she was like, when I would complain, she's like, okay, you get a day or you get some time to do that. Then you got to figure out this plan. How we gonna get what's the next step, right? Matter of fact, it was March. I think I was about applying to um I was applying to like some colleges to see if I was going to be a professor there and stuff like that. And she was like, what do you? I said I told her that, and she said, okay. The next day, she came back to me. She said, "Remember you said that I know you've been looking to apply to these schools." I said, "Yeah," and she's like, "Well, I'm just want to tell you this. I don't think you should do that." I said, "Why?" She said, "Because you wrote down a plan, which is in real estate." She said, "I want you to know that that's where you still need to be." She said, I want if you can. She said, "If you're concerned about me, uh being or leaving, or because you may fail, if you not may, but if you fail at this real estate thing, which she's like, I don't think that you're gonna fail, but let's say that you did." She was like, "I'm not going nowhere." You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here. And I was like, "Oh, okay." I said, "What?" Okay, that's what I'm saying in my mind. But when she's talking to me, she's talking to me like a teammate, right? She's not belittling me or anything. She's just saying, "Listen, you know what to do. You know what the issue is. So now let's go figure it out, and let's fix it." You know. And from that, like, my mode was like, in a go mode. And so that's the type of chick she was. Like, she wants you to go
Mhm.
get the thing done.
Mhm.
And when I think my mom or somebody had asked her, it was like, man, she knew more about COVID than most America. Okay.
Let me just
She
pause. It's like the Jenny. I have to say this about Jenny. Jenny was so vast in like a lot of context clues that people be like, "Wait, you got that from that?" Like, she was so her mind, the way her mind worked is like she would read something that she was gonna research this, and she was so vast in so many topics that is like, if you wanted a debate, if you wanted a discussion, if you wanted information, like, she was that chick that was just, she was like a silent weapon, just waiting to just say, you know what, I got you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's facts. And so and that's what she was. Like, she was a homeschool mom, right? But however, she was she knew that the wave of where we are in America was coming like 12 years ago. Wait, yeah, like 12 years ago, she knew that this was coming. You know what I mean? That's how advanced she was as far as with her knowledge, and she kept up with politics or whatever. But so I'm saying she knew everything about COVID, just didn't know like how to overcome it. And so with that, because she didn't have an idea of how to overcome it, she said, "Listen, if this is the way I gotta go, then that means that God want me to be with Him." You know what I'm saying? And so that's how she rocked. Like, and both of us rock like that. Me, I'm here because my kids are here, but the struggle to be here is real. You know what I mean? And so go ahead. You gonna say something, Cara?
Yeah, that leads me to my next question. We're getting a little deep into emotional feelings now.
Yeah.
Um, as a man, I kind of want you to talk a little bit more about the male perspective of what you're feeling. I think a lot of men, black men, get a lot of flack from not being emotional creatures or
Yeah.
showing emotion or giving emotion. And so I'm going to come from you from a biblical perspective.
Okay.
And I want you to talk about it openly as much as you feel like you want to. Um, my question to you is, how do you feel not having your rib with you?
That's a dope way to ask that question. How do I feel? Hmm. I feel empty. I feel unbalanced.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel so unbalanced. So I feel out of control. Even though what I mean by out of control is, for example, if you can talk to Titus about, like, I'm a structured person. Like, I do
Mm-hmm.
things like I write agendas. Like, I have goals for the year on my board. That's what that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so and then I write something down every day of what I'm accomplished. Like, I had stopped doing that. Like a budget.
Mm-hmm.
It's like budget is how I got to where I am at financially. and I haven't
Mhm.
even followed a budget, you know, in the past
Mm.
5 months. You see, uh,
Wow.
you know, but God is so faithful in that. Like he's like, listen, I still got you if you, even though you're not disciplined in what you used to do, right? Um, you know, other things, how it makes me feel. I mean, she was I mean, y'all see I like to talk. And so she was a very good listener. Um, and she was a good debater. You know what I mean? Like she's the one, case in point, she changed my thought process on affirmative action. I was like, babe, like you don't know what you're talking about. And for 2 years we had a conversation about affirmative action. And one day the light bulb came on for me based on the knowledge that she was spitting, you know. And a person that is the same intellect as me, if not more, like I'll yield to her because in some regard, you know, because of how intelligent she was on so many issues. I'll be like, babe, listen, is this like, tell me about this? And she like, why you asking me? I say, you know everything. What we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you acting brand new? And she was like, oh, okay, whatever. She would give me the information that she had. And so, and then, you know, being at nights, you know, the thing I miss is intimacy for sure. You know, if we keep it a buck, right? Whether that's, you know, what married people do or whether it's just holding each other. I mean, sometimes we would just dance, you know. People don't know, you know, Elijah is, you all kind of get to see the guy that some people don't get to see, you know, like I'm the, I like to have fun, you know what I mean? But I like to take care of business, you know. And so what it looks like to other people, my taking care of business is is what I brought to the table in our relationship. She brought the laid back. We're gonna get it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna get done. You know, the not necessarily spontaneous, but she was like that free spirit, if you will. You know, and so that's what I miss. You know, I think some of the things that she did is what I do now as far as the free spirit and not concerned about a budget. Like I remember I telling, I say, listen, babe, listen, I'm gonna take your credit card from you, okay? Because you keep spending and like I'm planning the money and like my plan is not going right because you keep going over the budget. And so I took it one time, right? And she was cool. She's like, okay, cool. I gave it back the next month. I was like, babe, I can't do this. Right? I can't be trying to see what money I need to give you and I'm not even at the house. You know what I'm saying? So like this is not working. And so she and so she and also I'm missing what easy looked like. Like Titus said, man, like she made my life easy. All I had to do was be a provider, protector, a husband, and you know, and a father to my kids. And she took care of the minutia of things, going to the doctor, if I needed to remember something. She was that chick. Going to baseball, softball, football games. She was the one that was bringing the snacks. Like I tried to do that one time this season. I was like, this is for the birds. Like I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? Like she, like I'm like, I was like, oh, this is why you were late. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, why are you late coming to the game? Oh well, okay. Jordy just boo booed on herself, so now you got to go change her. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm experiencing those things, and that's the things that I miss about her being that individual. Also being my encourager. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm down and trying to figure out things, she's the one that I bounce things off of. Shows that I watch that most people don't watch. You know, I miss watching our favorite show together so that we can talk about
Right.
it and have that debate and that conversation. So, you know, those are some of the things that I miss.
So, thank you for sharing that. That is just so cool that you were able to convey that over to the guys. You know that
Mm.
you do still feel. You know, men have emotions. I don't know why men
We
feel
are
like they
emotional,
don't have. They're very emotional, and it's from a
but we
woman's
can't afford to.
perspective
Yeah.
is very sexy. Yes,
No.
we love. I
You talking about
do. I'm saying
maybe
for
you, but
me.
most women don't want to see dudes just
Well, I
crying all the
well
time.
well
And
that's
men can't
not
afford to exhibit
Yes,
their
we do.
emotions.
Yeah, I'm
So
sorry. I'm an Aries, so I'm gonna have to speak for me.
I have no
I
idea what that's
I
supposed to mean.
well,
Yeah.
I'm an Aries,
I'm
so I'm gonna
okay.
speak for the Aries. So speak for
I
me.
bet.
For
Okay.
me, I
Okay.
find it very, very sexy that I get to cry with my husband.
I
That
think
Why
I
see?
you gotta ask the right woman. You and a Madam Secretary have a feminine energy. There are masculine
yeah,
women who, when their men
yes.
cry, they take that as a form of weakness.
Weakness and exactly, and
Okay. That's why she said she had
unfortunately,
to speak for herself.
yes, fortunately,
Yeah.
I'm not that woman, and I don't think that way. I feel like that's a backwards way of thinking. I think if you are a crier, or crying is a show of strength for me. So
But that's not what
I'm
it
a
is though for men. Like when a man cry,
mhm,
he feels like his options are not there. He feels like he's missing options. Like, and so he
right.
hasn't. Most men, I'm not saying all, right?
Hmm.
Uh, but men feel like, man, like where do I go? So
Mm.
that's what that guy is feeling most times, and not. Uh,
And that's
and
good
so
to know, but I'm just saying, like from a woman's perspective, for me is
yeah,
not a sign of weakness for me. I feel
that's
like
fair.
you're the strongest man if you cry. And so, but I'm
Okay.
just saying,
All
like, I
right.
love that you're able to convey that over. My last question is about healing. So I know
Okay.
you talked about counseling and all of, grief counseling and how in personal counseling.
Yeah.
So I know we sometimes shy away from talking about counselors. How
Okay.
did that? Can you go a little bit in depth with how it helped you to get to the place you are now?
I think it helped me most because I did it immediately. So
Mm,
I did it pretty soon thereafter, Jen leaving. And then, I'm double dosing, right? Like I'm in grief share, and then I'm also getting the personal counseling. So on Wednesday nights, I would go to the church. Thursday morning for 13 weeks, I'm talking to my counselor about my week, and trying to establish not necessarily milestones, but just trying to let him know like what was going on in my week, and giving him my
mm-hmm,
number, and being able to talk to somebody that don't know me, and it has a
mm-hmm.
I would say he did have some of a bias, but he didn't show it like that. Like the bias is that we experienced the same thing. That's what I
Right.
mean by that. Like he had lost his
Mm-hmm,
wife and I lost my wife. So that bias, I mean. And
mm-hmm,
so also what it did for me is be able to be here for my kids.
mm-hmm,
Like being able to understand that telling them that listen, dad needs this help. Like they knew that I was in counseling, and I also
mm-hmm.
got them counseling as well. And so
Right.
we was able to kind of relate to each other and talk about like what we talked about, but what I could share with them, what was going on in my head. It also, I think, I want to say think, what I see is that it helped me move through my grief, to not have as many waves in the course of a week,
Mm,
because I talk about her every day to somebody,
mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
And then being prepared for the holidays. Like I was prepared
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Christmas, for Thanksgiving. I just wasn't prepared for some of the days that I didn't know that I needed to prepare for. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, Thanksgiving, it went pretty solid. People checked up on me, and I had some people come over, whatever. Had to remove myself, at a time, but then setting up the tree and putting up the stocking, like putting up the stocking hit me. And I didn't, that's the moment that I didn't prepare for. But however, I knew that, you know, me, crying was okay. So that
Right.
grief share showed me that, as well as counseling showed me that
Mm-hmm.
embracing however the pain was, because
Mm-hmm.
even if it's just me moaning, or just can't get words together, or me screaming, whatever the
Mm-hmm.
the emotion was. That's what I learned from grief share and from my counselor, was to that it's okay to not be okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I also began to learn what my new normal is going to have to be. You know, uh,
Would you say that it is best to do Christian counseling, or
yes,
because Yeah, or counsel with someone that you know. Because I'm asking these questions as
Not with
if
nobody that you know.
right. There you
I
go.
wouldn't. I wouldn't recommend. But everybody's different. I wouldn't recommend
Yeah.
somebody that you know, because I don't
Hmm.
know how transparent you will be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's really
And then
good.
as far as a Christian counselor, I mean, if they not coming from the Bible, then they're how else are they gonna help tell you to do something that like grief is something that has to be comforted by a higher power. Like I
Mm,
don't know how you
that's
embrace.
good.
I don't understand how you embrace grief by yourself. Like
Mm,
that's why I can see why people commit suicide, you know, or keep to themselves. And like, because I'm on a Facebook group of widows and widowers, and
hmm
I see it every day that they struggle to move forward,
hmm
right? But then I
hmm
see those other people that are talking about the word, and they have a different perspective. Like for me, having Christ as the center of my attention most days, right? Um, I get to see that Jen is only 2 minutes away, basically. You know what I'm saying? Because if I was to die, like I know where I'm going and I'll see her, right? So I understand that, as opposed to others, they're trying to experience grief feeling like that they've lost them forever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In some regards. So grief share helped me with that, and then definitely Christian counseling. I wouldn't see it any other way. And I was
That's
opposed
awesome.
to counseling before. I wish I would have got, different counseling before. Then, I think I would definitely have a different mindset that where I
Hmm
am now as it relates to how I communicate with people, how I approach business, how I approach my family, my kids. It's been
hmm
like life's lessons that have um, had me to be able to express to people like what it is in my mind. Like you talked to Titus, he said that I've grown, with how I communicate with people. If I would have had counseling before before how, because in my mind, uh, what I said is what I said, and how you feel is how you feel. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know what I'm saying?
Borderline narcissism.
Yeah,
hmm
yeah,
Right.
for real, right? Borderline narcissism, if it not wasn't across the border, you know what I'm saying? It was narcissistic. As I'm being talked to, like I've talked to people that knew
That's
me, and
growth. That's a lot of growth for somebody to
That
admit
is
that this is who I
major.
was.
yeah, yeah,
Did you
Hmm
yeah,
see
for
Titus'
sure.
face do like this?
Yeah,
I'm
so
telling y'all,
so
it was one of those things like people like this is the closest that me and Elijah has ever been. Because in past times I was like, I'm not gonna talk to that guy because that guy he doesn't listen and he's not really ready to receive what I gotta say. So I'm not gonna waste my
hmm
energy on that.
hmm
complete facts, and he shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like he shouldn't have wasted his energy to a degree, right? To a degree, right? And that I don't know where I was going, but just to say that if I would have had counseling prior,
hmm
maybe like 18, 19, 20, 22 years old, man, like I think that I would have been a different type of cat. But at the same time, would I have met Jen? Because I was like being arrogant got me to a lot of different spaces, you know, that in life experience as well. I mean, sometimes you got to get high and then get humbled, and so that's why with humble dad, it's not something that I am just yet. It's just something that I aspire to be, and so
That's
that's just a constant
beautiful.
reminder. Yeah.
That's beautiful because it feels like you're giving your energy. You're putting your positive energy into something and building on that, and that's something that is taught in counseling as well. Like right now, having this difficult situation, I have my pillow because
Mm,
I need something tangible to put my energy into. So
facts.
I love the fact that you decided to write about it and include more dads that have gone through, difficult situations like this as well. Well, I appreciate you and I'm so, so proud of your growth. I'm so proud that you're able to even talk about it because most
Yeah,
people just don't. And so I really appreciate you coming on
for
and
sure.
beginning anew with all of us. I'm gonna pass this back over to Titus. I hope you come back because I really like you. You're really cool.
I appreciate that. Thank
He's
you.
already
Not too
arrogant.
many
Don't blow
people
his
say
head
that.
up. He's already arrogant. Don't blow his head up. Don't blow his head up. He's already there.
Listen, can we listen? Somebody literally just told me this. They was like, "Hey, in college, man, you were really arrogant." I was like that? They was like, "Yes, you was that bad." And that was before I came on the show, right? And I said, "Okay, could we please define arrogance? Because just throwing words out there with no definition, I can't say if I was or not. So give me your definition of arrogance.
I would equate arrogant to conceited as
Why you have
well.
to scoot up your chair like that?
Well, I want you to make sure you see the buttons, okay?
Oh, okay,
So
bet. All
I
right.
keep on moving back so you can see the
Yeah,
buttons. This is
bet.
a jacket and not a house robe. So so in my definition of knowing Elijah Emmanuel Glenn, the arrogant conceitedness was it's all about me, nobody else but me, and everything else is about me. But what you got to say, I want you to hear what I got to say. When you say what you got to say what you got to say so I can defend what I got to say because your point is not really valid. And I'm going to argue my point until you know that I'm right and you're still wrong.
Yeah, that's pretty arrogant. Yeah, that definitely was me.
Now that you know this, though, turn it around. How do you feel hearing that? Does it bother you? Do you like, man, was I that bad? Or was it like, man, I'm so sorry I was that bad? How do you feel about it?
I'm sorry that I was that bad. Like I apologize to the person that said that, right? And I do feel bad um about it. How do I feel hearing it? It's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't uh and I also see that I could say, okay, somebody sees me growing. Like that's exactly what the Bible talks about, right? Bearing fruit that people can see it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you growing and can't nobody see that it's good fruit, then like
Right.
what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah,
hearing
you can
it
come back to this show.
for sure. So hearing it, I heard it from my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like I've heard it so many times prior. You know, like I wouldn't hear it before. You know, but before my transformation to being a follower of Christ. Matter of fact, um, it was I was dating Jen, and this dude, I took out trash, and this dude came up to me. He was like, "Hey, you're Elijah, right?" You know, because I was pretty popular on campus, and I was like, "Yeah." He said, "You're not living up to your name."
I don't know
I
my
said, "What, dude? What are you talking about? You don't know me?" Oh yeah, you be doing this, you be doing this, you be doing that. I was like, this dude is tripping.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's telling me about my name. He's like, Elijah is this, such and such, such, such. And he's a believer. He's a strong believer, even still to this day. I get back to the apartment. I tell Jen, like, this dude just told me, you know what I'm saying, that I wasn't even living up to my name. And she upset, you know what I'm saying? Because she in protective mode, right? Well, fast forward, I give my life to Christ, and his name is Damien. And I saw him. I said, bro, I appreciate you for telling me what you said, that I was not living up to my name. That didn't mean a lot then, but it definitely means a lot now because I understand what you meant or what you was trying to communicate. The thing about people uh that speak sternly um must realize is that just because they don't hear it today doesn't mean it won't stay with them. Right. So yes, I like me, I'm a bold person. Like I speak boldly. Now I understand that I have to. He was speaking from a position of love. But even as an arrogant person, I'm not going to hear that he loves me. Right. And so, however, now I can still tell you about that moment, which was like almost 20 years ago, how it made an impact on me even later in life. So I would say to people, say what it is that you feel led to say. And if it's not something that God told you, God gonna communicate that to you. And if it is something that is told to you, then that person gonna let you know. So either way, you're gonna be able to know if you heard it from God or not.
That's what's up. Well, y'all, we have thoroughly enjoyed this show. We're gonna definitely have to have this guy back, so we can continue these conversations, and just have this. I don't know what to call it. Just this shindig of sorts. Just
Hey, I'm glad you finished that word.
Please do not start.
so we got a fan on the show. We'll just leave it at that. We thank you for watching TTNT. We appreciate you. We appreciate you going back to watch the show. Thank you for getting our numbers up. We appreciate you. So, so if you could, Elijah, just share with people how to get a hold of you, just in case they need to reach out, if they're going through their own grief experience and just need some help and guidance, or if they just want to get more information on how to find you and be a part of your movement with Humble Dad.
For sure. I mean, you can catch me on, I guess what, YouTube. Go just type in Humble Dad. You know, I do have a Humble Dad Facebook group. And as far as IG, you know, it's the new stuff, whatever. I'm under Humble Dad Legacy. And then, you know, any one of those platforms, you can send me a message and we can chop it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm gonna be charging if it get over a certain amount of time, though. You know what I'm saying?
Why?
People don't even know if I'm sarcastic or not. Like,
Do not.
Hey,
Do not.
listen. Why? Consulting fees, bro? Like, what you talking about? Like, you contacting me for information?
Usually you don't
Like,
say
hey,
that stuff. You kind of wait to say, hey, you know, this is free, but you know,
During the walking
that's
music
exactly
is
the
a good
problem.
time. During the walking music, when the walking music
right.
comes, you just let them know it's time to start praying and paying, and y'all bring out your checkbooks. Well, go ahead.
Please,
No,
he
I
remind.
listen. No,
You
this
This
at
is
the beginning of
reminds
the
me.
service. Good morning. How much did it?
This reminds
Li-
me of the trustee
My
board at the
cash app
church when
is
they click the light off to tell you to get out the building.
Right. Money is already spent. You paid your time. Time is up. So y'all, that's been our show with New Beginning. Make sure you mark your calendars. January 28th, Titus Glenn is dropping a new single, New Beginning. And I pray that it will bless your entire life. So that's it. We thank you for rocking with us in this episode of New Beginning, just dealing with death. And we just speak blessings over you, and we're out.
From the ashes you will rise. After the dust settles, you will see
That it was only
meant to start
your new. From the ashes, after the dust settles,
you will see
that it was only meant
meant to start
your new.